On May 27th of 2025, this dumbass and his girlfriend went to a Jersey Mike's, which is a sandwich shop in Navarre, Florida. And when they left, 20 minutes later, an employee at the sandwich shop went to the bathroom and found a crumpled up note. And when that employee opened the note, it said, "Help me. I need a wellness check. This is my number. Please tell the police not to do this wellness check unless my car is parked outside. Otherwise, my boyfriend, who's a wrestler, is going to tell his mom and dad, and then I will be punished."
Please note that this content is for adults only. Viewer discretion advised. If you haven't yet, hit the subscribe, like, and share.
Sandwich artist Eleanor Coffey expected Tuesday to be a normal day at the sandwich shop. That was until she noticed something suspicious in the bathroom.
There was this little piece of crumpled up paper that was shoved next to our toilet paper dispenser, and it looked like a piece of trash.
Coffey opened up the paper and was alarmed by the message inside.
She was like, "Please help me. I'm at this address in Navarre. I need you to call the police and do a wellness check."
The victim in this case must have been so scared, not only of what would happen if they get this note and the police go there when her car is not parked outside, but also, what if someone didn't get the note, or what if someone found this crumpled up note and just thought, "Oh, it's probably trash, let me just put that in the trash." That is so scary. So, however, the police went to that residence that was listed in the Help Me letter, and they executed a wellness check. And they did in fact find a victim of domestic violence. And guess what? There's a history of that with this victim, and this is the aggressor, Jordan Williams, a pro wrestler who lives with his mommy and daddy. Yeah, the snark is strong on this one. Let's go over the timeline from the police report. Thank you to Grizzly Cat for obtaining this probable cause affidavit for us to go over so we get all the facts on paper, which is what we like over here. On May 27th of 2025 at, I just redacted the exact number, Avenida de Sol in Santa Rosa County, Florida, Jordan Williams did knowingly and unlawfully commit the offenses of kidnapping, false imprisonment, DV, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, DV, battery by strangulation. That's when DV is already terrible to go through that. But when it escalates to someone already, putting hands on one's throat or mouth, it is so dangerous. One does definitely need to get help and get out of there, because the next step is homicide. That's just how the stats are, right? So I'm so glad that this victim in this case did this, left this note, and I'm just going to share for a moment this DV distress signal in case somebody doesn't know it. We don't know if she did that in the shop or not, but sometimes that has been successful as well to get people to call the police. But you see on the note, there were very specific instructions based on the past that this victim's experienced with this guy, right? But this is the domestic violence distress signal. It's also been used in other cases if someone's been abducted or as a general distress signal, but it was created as a DV distress signal. So if you see someone in public, like at this Jersey Mike sandwich shop, and they're like, they're looking at you and just quickly doing it means they need help. They are very likely a victim of DV. They're really uncomfortable, they're scared, and they need you to call the police. So obviously here, this victim knew they were just there to pick up food, and then they'd leave, and then how would the people know who she is, where she is, and all of that? So that's a lot of charges, and that's on top of a history of this behavior. On the 27th of May of 2025, I responded to 8191 Navarre Parkway, which is Jersey Mike's, in reference to police assist call. Upon arrival, I spoke with management, who informed me of a Help Me letter that was discovered inside the bathroom to the business. Employees explained an unknown female, later identified as Rochelle Harper, entered the business on today's date around 19:30 hours and walked directly to the bathroom of the business. Later explaining, Rochelle entered the business accompanied with an unknown male, later identified as Jordan Williams, and informed their arrival to the business was to retrieve DoorDash food orders. Management explained that Rochelle and Jordan quickly left the business and left the parking lot in their vehicle. After a 20-minute time lapse, employees discovered a note that was left inside the bathroom. The letter statements are as follows. Please help me. I need a wellness check sent to Avenida de Sol, Navarre, Florida. I'm being kept here against my will. Let cops know. Don't approach the house unless my Hyundai Kona is in the driveway, because his parents will alert him and he will hurt me and make us run in the car again. What? His parents will alert him. The parents own this house where he's living with his girlfriend. So here we have yet another case of a DV aggressor, a baby boy living with mommy and daddy and inflicting violence on his girlfriend. Okay, so it says, don't approach unless can you imagine how scared she must have been in case the police just go there and don't follow that instruction based on her experience. Sure. It says the parents help him keep me here. I just want to get home to my kids and family. No missing persons report because they notify phones, and no messaging my medias because he has control of my phone so he will know. My name's Rochelle Harper. Please help me get home. Help, all caps, get me before May 30th.
According to deputies, the victim wrote she was being held hostage. Coffey says she told her manager and immediately called 911.
Our deputies responded, looked at the letter, gathered information. She left her name and address of where she was going to be at, what kind of car would be in the driveway. So she left a lot of details in the notes so we could come to her and help her.
I reviewed the business in-store video surveillance that captured this incident that corroborated management statements and time-lapse of this event. While utilizing investigative techniques, Florida driver's license and master name index systems with our agency, I was able to positively identify Rochelle and Jordan in this case. Rochelle has previous DV history as being a victim of DV with our agency with Jordan, as Jordan being the suspect of the DV on January 2024. So it must have been in January of 2024, it was more than a year ago. The reports mention Jordan as controlling her movements. So there we have coercive control, and it sounds like controlling her phone, probably controlling what she eats, controlling every aspect of her life in cases like this usually. Upon conducting a records check through Florida Driver Information Database, it concluded Rochelle to be the registered owner of a 2025 blue Hyundai Kona SUV, bearing Florida tag redacted, that corroborated the surveillance video. Rochelle's previous listed address is that same address where baby boy lived with his parents, Avenida de Sol, and Jordan, his address is listed as that same one, Avenida de Sol, along with the owners of this residence to be Jordan's parents, Larry Williams and Janet Williams. During this investigation, I positively identified Jordan as the other individual in the surveillance video by his master name, photos of his arrest with our agency as of January of 2024. And by the way, this Jordan Williams is 34 years old, in case you're wondering. I spoke with Rochelle's ex-husband, Taylor Harper, via cell phone regarding this investigation. Taylor stated that he is the ex-husband and Rochelle's children's father and has primary custody of their children. Taylor explained that he and Rochelle are divorced and has an active restraining order on Jordan. Taylor informed that Rochelle left their marriage to be in a relationship with Jordan that he described as an abusive relationship. Taylor advised that Jordan has a history of beating and holding Rochelle hostage against her will. Jordan has previously held Rochelle captive in a locked bathroom for 2 days, where she had to escape out the bathroom window. Also has tied her to a bed while spitting his tobacco spit in her mouth and urinating on her while tied to the bed. Well, let's see if the other inmates will hear about that. Taylor described these past events involving Jordan to be very abusive and controlling. Taylor explained that Jordan is a very violent individual, has previously been armed with a firearm, and has threatened to kill his children and his family. Taylor informed of Rochelle's medical diagnosis. I redacted that. It's mental health diagnosis, right? Taylor also confirmed of Jordan's parents' residence to be that Avenida de Sol property. I spoke with Rochelle's mother, Tiffany Harper, by his cell phone regarding this investigation. I discussed this investigation to Tiffany and read her note. Tiffany deemed this note to be credible and informed Rochelle would utilize her cell phone number in the Help Me note due to being the only person she trusts Oh, it was her mother's number to help her in time of need. Tiffany explained Rochelle's past history with Jordan to be abusive, controlling her actions and controlling her cell phone. Tiffany informed that she was attempting to report Rochelle as a missing person on March 1st of 2025. Tiffany didn't request this report due to threatening Jordan to contacting law enforcement if unable to speak with her daughter Rochelle. Tiffany advised that Jordan was able to provide a voice message via the phone of Rochelle's voice to her cell phone to confirm that Rachel was safe. My word. Tiffany provided Rochelle's cell phone to be redacted and explained that Jordan would be in possession of the phone and controls all functions of. Tiffany informed of Rochelle's medical diagnoses of, which I've redacted as well, and has a brain tumor. Tiffany voiced her concern of the safety of Rochelle and believes Jordan may be controlling her movements. I drafted a search warrant and presented this warrant to Judge Stevens, who granted the search warrant for the residents of this Avenida de Sol, Navarre, Florida. The search warrant was executed on the 28th of May at this listed address. After the search warrant executed, I located Rochelle, who spoke with me regarding this investigation. Rochelle confirmed that she had written the note and placed it in the Jersey Mike's restroom. Rochelle explained that she had been held captive by Jordan Williams at this residence for a 6 to 8 month time span and was unable to retreat to safety. She informed Jordan controlled her movements by forcefully grabbing her and beat her on every opportunity he could when she would run away to safety on multiple occasions. Rochelle informed of a physical altercation that had taken place on the 23rd of May of 2025 involving Jordan. Rochelle stated on this date, while engaged in a verbal argument with Jordan, he became irate by grabbing her by the neck with both hands, impeding her ability to breathe and slamming her to the ground. Jordan continued the abuse by placing both of his knees onto her back while on the ground to inflict great pain. Rochelle informed of a physical altercation that had taken place on the 18th of March of 2025 involving Jordan. Rochelle stated on this date, while engaged in a verbal argument with Jordan, he became irate by arming himself with a knife and held the knife to Rochelle's throat or chest area. She explained that Jordan has mentioned multiple times that he would kill her if she attempted to seek help or assistance.
After reviewing surveillance footage and former case records, the sheriff's office identified 34-year-old Jordan Williams as the suspect.
There was 2 previous domestic violence incidents, so this is the 3rd.
Deputies executed a search warrant at an address they had on file, about 2 miles from the restaurant. Inside, deputies found the victim who left the note in the bathroom. They say she had visible injuries and was taken to a hospital for suspected broken bones, along with other trauma.
A lot of times there are women that are held against their will and they're afraid.
Thursday afternoon, Williams had his first court appearance.
Good afternoon, Mr. Williams. Do you understand your rights, sir?
He's being held without bond.
Because anybody that would do that to another woman, he don't need to be walking around free in our community.
As for Coffee, she says finding the note folded up in the bathroom is an experience she'll never forget.
My heart goes out to her and her family, and I'm just, hopefully I hope that really doesn't happen again.
Rochelle informed of a physical altercation that had taken place last week at an unknown date involving Jordan. Rochelle stated during that time, while engaged in a verbal argument with Jordan, he became irate and beat her by punching her in the face and forcefully grabbing her by the neck once more. Rochelle was able to provide several pictures of her injuries that she has occurred over this time span of being held captive by Jordan. Rochelle is Jordan's girlfriend of 2 years and is residing as a family unit while living under the same dwelling. I observed Rochelle to have a black eye with dark bruising around her eyes. EMS Unit 16 responded to the scene and informed Rochelle to have a possible broken arm, hand, and several large whelps to be on the back of her head. EMS transported Rochelle to Sacred Heart Hospital. I don't think it's Scared Heart. I think it's Sacred Heart. There's a lot of typos in this, but it's okay. Sacred Heart Hospital for further medical treatment. Jordan was detained in handcuffs and placed in a patrol car. Jordan was advised of his Miranda warnings utilizing my agency-issued Miranda card, at which time he wished to speak with me regarding this investigation. Jordan explained he has never struck Rochelle, and she has threatened him in the past. Oh, we've got the classic DARVO. Deny, attack, reverse, victim, offender. This is what DV aggressors do. And sometimes if police don't have the training to see it, they actually believe them. So I hope they didn't in this case. It doesn't seem like they did based on all the charges that he's now facing and that he was arrested, and that's that. But wow, he's like, never. In fact, she threatened me. Oh my word. I asked Jordan on how Rochelle received her injuries in the past, and he informed me he doesn't know. Jordan repeatedly stated he has never struck her. That's just him protecting his ego and his wrestling career. Rochelle completed a sworn handwritten statement of this incident and completed a DV questionnaire, victims notification form, VINE brochure with case number. I was able to determine Jordan to be the primary aggressor in this case due to Rochelle's injuries. Jordan was arrested for violation with all those charges we went over before, and he was transported to the Santa Rosa County Jail and released to jail staff and other inmates, who I wonder if they'll hear about the spitting his tobacco spit in her mouth and urinating on her. Oh, knees on the back as well, you said. Oh, I wonder if the other inmates will hear about that, how he treated his girlfriend. Now, before we look at the police statement, which is very much the same, I just want to show it to you. They just have bullet points of the charges and all that. Let's first look at his Instagram profile, shall we? He's called The Real Jaden Steele. Now, you might be confused because his name is Jordan Blake Williams, and you're like, who the hell is this guy? No, this is his wrestling name, The Real Jaden Steele, and you're supposed to have a show coming up soon. But yeah, here's this dumbass right here. It says, Miss Grimple Sticks don't play. This real deal tears it up in the ring and at the park. Someone says, I hope you get justice for what you did to your girlfriend. Yeah, exactly. People are snarking here on his Instagram page. So yeah, let's just do a quick overview. I think, let's see over here. You can always spot him with a damn blue hair here. See, here he is. June 7th. Yeah, I don't think you're going to be attending that, dude. Oh my goodness, look at this guy. Just look at him. Living with mommy and daddy at age 34 and apparently beating his girlfriend while being a pro wrestler. Like, oh my word. Look at him. Wow, here's his mom. He says, Happy Mother's Day. I hope that the accusations about the mother don't turn out to be true, because that's also horrifying. And if the mom and dad really helped to keep this victim captive there, and really, if she really protected her son, well, I hope to see more charges. Then they should be charged as well. I'm sure the police are investigating. He says, proud of what I've accomplished. Okay, yeah, I think that's over now. Also, let me show you this clip quickly.
Professional wrestling, and like this is going to be an answer that's going to be answered differently from everybody that you ask outside of me. My legacy is very important to me. My family crest is very important to me, and everything that Rocky Johnson and my old man have taught me throughout my training years, and even to this day, me asking my old man about stuff, that was one of the focal points that they like throw in there to do. And I got the gift of professional wrestling. Nobody else can provide that for me. That's the most passionate thing in this world that I'm passionate about. So,
well, enjoy that in jail, because your legacy, I think it's changed. I think it's changed a little bit now. This is what the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office put out in a news release. Sheriff Bob Johnson. And as you could see, it says pretty much the same. It says on May 27th of 2025, deputies with the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office responded to a report of a suspicious note found inside the restroom of a local business in Navarre. The note, written by victim, identified herself and indicated she was being held against her will at a nearby residence and feared for her life. Utilizing surveillance footage, prior case records, and witness interviews, deputies identified the suspect as 34-year-old Jordan Williams. Williams and the victim have a documented history with our agency of domestic violence incidents. Santa Rosa County deputies executed a search warrant at the listed residence. Inside, deputies located an adult female who confirmed that she authored the note and detailed a prolonged period of abuse. She detailed repeated assaults, threats involving weapons, and being held in isolation by Williams for a span of several months. Deputies observed visible injuries, and the victim was transported by EMS to a local hospital for treatment of suspected broken bones and other trauma. Our victim advocates team also responded and assisted the victim. So that's good to hear as well. Jordan Williams was arrested on the following charges. As you can see there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new charges for him. He was booked into the Santa Rosa County Jail on May 28th without incident. He will appear in front of a judge today on May 29th for his first appearance to determine if a bond will be set. Sheriff Johnson shares this case represents the strength of coordinated work by my staff and the bravery of the victim. Thanks to her courage and the deputy's swift actions, she is now safe and receiving care. If you or someone you know is experiencing abuse, call the Florida DV hotline, and they've got that there. Of course, this is from the Santa Rosa County Sheriff's Office. Now, I quickly want to show you the map as well, just so that you could see how close they actually were to the home where she was staying at. They just popped out to, so this is not an exact address at all. It's not even the right address that I have on there because I don't want to be specific with it, of course. But yeah, it's literally from, if we, let's just zoom out like this. It's around that area, okay? From there, it's a 6-minute drive to the sandwich shop, this Jersey Mike's, right? So let's see if we can, I wonder if we could see it. Let's put the little man here. Turn around. American Mattress, there, Jersey Mike's Subs. That is where they went to collect a DoorDash order. 7:30 p.m. is what the police report says, and that was on May 27th of 2025. And it was in that bathroom that this victim left a note, a help me letter, as they refer to it.
A lot of times there are women that are held against their will and they're afraid.
Thursday afternoon, Williams had his first court appearance.
Good afternoon, Mr. Williams. Do you understand your rights, sir?
He's being held without bond.
Because anybody would do that to another woman.
Thank goodness he's being held without bond. Yep.
He don't need to be walking around free in our community.
As for Coffee, she says finding the note folded up in the bathroom is an experience she'll never forget.
My heart goes out to her and her family, and I'm just, hopefully I hope that really doesn't happen again.
I think this case has quite a few lessons in it. One being, that is at least one way to alert people, is to leave a note, if one can, somewhere in a public place for people to find, right, with clear instructions. And secondly, to also perhaps see if something is out of place, like a note, a crumpled up note, or whatever it is, to maybe grab that and just have a look at it in case someone needs help, and this has probably saved her life. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe.